Regarding prisons and pre-trial detention, there are certain issues that have been going on for a number of years, certain problems that we have also spoken about. And this is, for example, access to information about the rights of pre-trial detainees as opposed to prisoners who get them in writing and the pre-trial detainees do not. Here we have seen in practice that a lot of the times people do not use complaint mechanisms out of fear or out of shame, or they do not have enough trust into the system to do anything about it. Here I would also like to stress the role of healthcare professionals. They have a crucial role in violence, and not only the ones that can happen between the detainees or prisoners, but also violence that can happen towards the detainees or prisoners from the staff, since they are usually the first ones who will see signs of violence, meaning physical violence or even psychological. And sometimes they are not sufficiently aware of their obligation to report such violence.
What's the problem? I see also at medical experts who are engaged from the state and they're paid from the state. According to the law, they should be independent, but I don't think they are. Only in 1 year, one medical expert was paid from the state around 3 million kunas, which is really a huge amount of money. And I think there is a problem with instructing them how they should make their expert opinions.
We had a case of a detainee, a young man, who came into a prison, and when the initial screening was done, the basically only thing that was taken into consideration was his age. And he was placed with roommates who were of the similar age, so very young, and also detainees. What was not taken into consideration and even not made aware was a history of psychiatric conditions that this young person had. He was hospitalized, and this made him particularly vulnerable. So what happened is he became victim of violence from his roommates in this instance. It is just a question that some detainees might be more susceptible to become victims, unfortunately, than others, and that's why full medical records, even though they are confidential, must be taken into consideration by the prison staff when making decisions where to place certain people.
So it is very important to start to implement directive in order to help victims to get their rights in a criminal proceeding.
So when we talk about those safeguards, foremost, of course, we all think about humane detention conditions, and they are particularly important, but also in regards to prisons as well as detention centers, access to information, and in particular access to effective complaints mechanisms, access to lawyers, and access to health care is of utmost importance. Because if a person is deprived of his or her liberty, she is definitely not deprived of her rights.
So now we have only power without wisdom and without humanity, and we should have all three things in combination to to be able to call ourselves democratic societies with the rule of law.